Sometimes in life, you find yourself on the right side of the line.
This looks like what Roger Moore would look like if he had his feet up in imaginary stirrups while he was laying out on a beach towel.
Brett, that just ain't right. I'm surprised they used toilet paper.
That Dixie cup you're drinking from looks like a shot glass. Did your head get that much bigger? It looks like the Unabomber with a hat on.
Now a member of the Global Ag Network.
Well, guys, I thought maybe me and Landon would just have like an intimate little podcast episode, but no, Ashtyn had to butt herself in and decided that we had to get her on the episode of the podcast as well. So, guys, we're here. We've got Landon. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good, Brent. How are you?
Oh, just fantastic. You know what's better than 90 degrees and 30-mile-an-hour wind? 100 degrees and 35-mile-an-hour wind. Don't you agree? Landon, you're 10 miles away. There cannot be a delay.
No, I don't understand your reasoning there. It's not better.
Well, yeah. Ashtyn, what about Lubbock? What's Lubbock like?
Kind of boring right now. They shut all the bars down. Not too much to do. All my friends are still with their families, so not too much to do.
Okay, and everybody, thanks. That's our episode for the week, and we've got nothing else to talk about apparently. Yeah, that's got to be kind of a downer, man. You're in college town, and you're in college, and the bars are down, and everybody's home. That's got to be tough.
Your pets' heads are falling off.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, it's been kind of weird, to be honest. Nothing really going on. I got to go to my first stock show though the other day. I went to a little jackpot, so that was pretty fun, I guess.
Where was that at?
Leveland.
I didn't
just right
see
after
you.
left. No, I texted you and it had just left.
Oh man, I tell you what, you just all the luck in the world and it still can't get it done. Well, guys, we've got Landon and Ashtyn here, and we're getting lighthearted today. We're talking about our Netflix, and so do y'all binge? Do y'all binge on Netflix?
Oh yeah.
100%.
What's your last binge? And I'm not talking about after you get home when you go to the bar, Ashtyn.
There was one that I just binged called White Lines.
I've scrolled over that many times and haven't watched it. Good or no?
Oh my gosh, I thought it was so good. So it's basically just about this girl. 20 years after her brother disappears, the body of her brother comes back up in Ibiza. And so it's just about her like trying to track down his killer, and it has a bunch of drama in it. So it's pretty good, I would say.
So I don't want to say anything about your taste, but on the preview frame here, it's got a dude and a chick, and they're pretty amorous, and they've only got their swimming suits on. Is there some amorous activities going on here, Ashtyn?
There is. It gets a little bit graphic. So for those listeners, I surely hope there's no under 13 listeners listening to this podcast right now, because it's
I hope not
if anybody listened to our episode last week, we probably ran off anybody under the age of 37, because we had Conrad and Michelle on, and Conrad, the reason it was long coming out is because that's how long it took me to edit it, because I didn't know how many times I would have to hit the bleep button. So White Lines. So it's a series. It's got a couple seasons, or one season?
Yeah, it's fairly new, I think, to Netflix. So it only has one season. I don't know how many episodes they are, but it's like an hour long. So it's a pretty good watch.
Okay, so I've got it right here. I'm going to. Okay, it's got. Here we go. Episodes. So it's got one season, and it's got. We need to play a game and go by the title, and if we haven't seen it, we have to guess what we think it's about. So if it were me and I was watching White Lines, I would automatically think, okay, it's about cocaine. Is there cocaine involved?
Yeah, there are drugs involved.
Is that what it's based on?
No, it's really based around that girl trying to find her brother's killer. But I mean, it's in Ibiza, Spain. Like he went there, I guess in like the 90s when like house music was pretty big, I guess, and he like wants to be a DJ and stuff. So there's some drugs involved.
Now, is this a true story?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
It'd
okay.
be
Okay.
cool if it was, I guess, but
Sure be cool
it's
if
very
it was,
interesting.
man.
It's like, I guess it's kind of, I don't know, a real life forensic files kind of thing, because she actually like finds the killer, like has to work with the cops and that kind of stuff. But
And so everybody else that hasn't seen it, you don't have to watch it now since Ashtyn. Spoiler alert.
Finds a killer, and then she takes her brother to a pet cemetery, and they all live happily ever after.
Hey, Ashtyn, what happens at the end of The Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
I can't spoil anything. Landon did that enough for me. I have some PTSD. So
Landon spoils a lot of stuff for people. Don't worry about it. We're used to it. So Landon, what about you? What's your and not The Office? Okay, we know you watch The Office. So what's your latest original series?
Well, the last one I've watched was on Hulu actually. It was Body Cam. I was talking to you about that earlier.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So tell everybody about Body Cam.
It's just police stories, and they just show the footage from their body cams and what kind of shenanigans they get into. It's pretty good stuff.
Hey, Farva, what's that place you like to go to? It's got all the shit on the walls. We can talk about
I don't want a large Pharma. I want a GD liter of cola.
Oh, that's Super Troopers, right, Ashtyn?
We want to watch this Eurovision movie.
Eurovision. I've seen Euro Trip. Okay, so I got to write this stuff down. Body cams. Okay.
Will Ferrell Netflix movie.
Yeah, it's got Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams, I believe. Yeah, anything with Will Ferrell's got to be pretty solid. So This is called The Story. Let's see. It's The Story of Fire Saga, Eurovision Song Contest. Can I not mute that? There we go. Two small-town singers chase their pop star dreams at a global music competition where high-stakes, scheming rivals, and on-stage mishaps test their bond. That right up your alley, Ashtyn?
I'm not too big on Will Ferrell, to be completely honest.
That's heresy. What about Rachel McAdams? You probably dig, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
When she in the Notebook.
Yeah, she was.
Yes,
the hot chick.
Oh my gosh, the hot chick! I have not seen the hot chick in so long.
Is it stupid? It looks.
I got
stupid.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Hey Brent, have you seen the Space Force show with Steve Carell?
No, I haven't. Is it? What have you?
No, not yet. I figured you'd probably watch it.
No, I was tempted to, but I don't know. It looks a little. I don't know. It looks a little political to me. Maybe it's not. Probably.
No.
I've heard the reviews aren't just too terribly good. I don't know. Steve Carell, outside of being Michael Scott in a comedy, well, I don't know. I guess 40-Year-Old Virgin was pretty good and Anchorman, but I don't know. It's hard. He's a pretty good dramatic actor, really. He was in, what was that one movie? Little Miss Sunshine. That was a pretty good movie. I really liked it pretty well.
Nobody cares about drama.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So right now there's so Unsolved Mysteries, Ashtyn. I just saw it popped up on Netflix. Have you started it now? Have you watched any yet?
I haven't, but we had it on the background. Like I had a friend visiting right now, and so we had it in the background when we were chatting today in the living room, and it's like a bunch of stuff. I think they feature like alien stuff and like all this weird unsolved mysteries, like people going missing. So I think that I might actually have to dive into that one.
Oh, so you're aware of the original series, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay. See, I was going to ask you if you'd seen it, which you haven't. So I was going to ask you if this was from the original. This is just a replay of the original series. See, there's an original series on TV called Unsolved Mysteries. And what I was wondering is if this is that, or they made a whole new series. It says Netflix series, it's Unsolved Mysteries. So it makes me want to think that they made their own, like they bought it and they're making their own Unsolved Mysteries. So yeah, no, the original Unsolved Mysteries. Who did you ever watch it, Landon? The old one?
Oh my gosh, man, that damn Robert Stack kept me up more nights than I can imagine. I just googled it to see if he's still alive, but he died in 03.
So,
No, man.
well, here I can. Let's see if he's.
Now there was one of those one night about these two guys going around killing people, and they're like their last known location was in Texas, and I remember like going to bed and like just being terrified that these guys were going to come in the house, kill my parents, and then kill us.
So this is original. This is Netflix's version. So this is not the original version. So Landon, that was the 80s, wasn't it? 80s, early 90s.
Oh man, it was terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
Ashtyn. Oh yeah, this was a hugely popular series. Unsolved Mysteries. Oh yeah, because he had this. Why I can't hear myself very good here. There we go. He had this sort of Landon. What would you call his voice? It was like real kind of. Was it deep and kind of
perfect.
Ominous? It was perfect. I mean, there couldn't be a more perfect. So it would be like, I want to say Morgan Freeman, but not really. Maybe more like Sam Elliott. No, he's too country.
No. Yeah, who would if you had to replace Robert Stack, who would you replace him with? Brent.
I'm gonna say because not Morgan Freeman's too smooth. He's a documentary guy, and
makes people happy.
Could Mike Rowe? No, not Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. He's too cheery. It's got to be somebody kind of old school. Like oh gosh, who's like an old school? It'd be awesome if John Wayne could have done it.
You know who would probably be a good one if he wasn't like a pedophile is the old
Jeffrey
Kevin
Epstein?
Spacey.
Oh yeah. What is he? Yeah. Well, he's gay, so it's okay, I guess now. Since he came out and got caught, he said he was gay and thought that'd get him off the hook.
Yeah. Still doesn't matter with 12-year-olds.
Oh, was it that? Oh, I didn't know it was that. Oh, yeah, okay, that's bad.
Or whatever, but
okay,
no,
I didn't realize it was young.
Morgan Freeman would be great, but I have like happy memories of him. Not
yeah, I'm trying to think. What about? Oh, I know. So the guy that played the, Benedict Cumberbatch? So he played the bad guy in one of the Star Trek movies, the new ones. Ashtyn, do you know who I'm talking about? He was in. Yeah, he's English.
He gives me the creeps. He's just funny looking.
Yeah, he's got these like icy blue eyes, like ice blue eyes.
Tiny. They're tiny.
They're tiny.
Eyes, but like a really long face.
Yeah.
Like,
so Landon, look it up. Benedict Cumberbatch. He was also in that movie. Oh, he was a gay guy, but the main reason of the story. Well, no, that was a big part of the story. But he was actually built a code breaker against the Nazis. And I'm trying to remember the something game. Imitation Game. Yeah. Did you ever watch?
I think he was also in a recent Sherlock Holmes, maybe.
I guess I could always look it up, huh? Benedict.
This Cumberbatch guy looks terrifying.
I told you.
And his voice is perfect. His voice is so he's English. So right off the bat, he's creepy. So
so another Robert Stack story. So the first time I ever knew him was in Unsolved Mysteries.
Robert's wife is stacked.
Well, then we watched Caddyshack 2, and he's like the bad guy in Caddyshack 2, and it's like a comedy. And it like ruined that whole movie for me because I was waiting for like Robert Stack to like start telling stories about all these people that were on the loose.
Well, I have a weird story for you guys that I just heard today. So, and it has to deal with Lubbock. So my roommate told me apparently Lubbock, the city of Lubbock, doesn't have a coroner and hasn't for a little while.
A coroner?
Because I guess the city coroner some years ago was doing some necrophilia stuff with corpses and doing all sorts of stuff.
No, he wasn't. There's no way.
That's just what I heard today.
That would be.
Speaking of all this unsolved mysteries and weird crap, I figured I might as well bring it up to you guys.
See, at first I thought you said Lubbock doesn't have a corner. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I took a left turn somewhere off of 82nd University.
No wonder it's called the Hub City.
Woo! Talk about quick. So where are they sending all the dead people? Ashtyn?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. I was just talking to my roommate about it today because we were talking. I don't know what we were talking about. There's no telling. But she was
That's
telling
for
me,
sure.
I guess her, I don't know, her boss is like knows all in the city of Lubbock, and he, I guess, was telling her that we haven't had a coroner for a little while because they haven't hired anyone after they had caught this old coroner doing like weird stuff to corpses. And I was like, oh no. So I'm gonna research it. I'll look it up real quick and I'll update you guys here in a minute.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about the necrophiliac coroner. That's so Ashtyn, here's the question. Do you think did he already have the tendency and that's why he wanted the job, or being around all those dead bodies turned him?
I don't know. I would say that he was a weirdo before, because I don't think that the smell of formaldehyde would really get anyone going.
Are you talking about formaldehyde as like the ultimate aphrodisiac?
For him, I guess it was.
Whatever turns you on, I guess. So yeah, I don't know, man. I tell you what, dead just. Ugh. How could you get aroused? I mean, how could you get an arousal about from that? That dude had it bad.
You're supposed to have that autopsy done 3 days ago.
Well,
I haven't closed the deal yet.
I had to take her out to dinner. I mean, it's like weekend at Bernadette's.
We haven't got to our third date yet.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Man, this chick is like ice cold, man. I can't get anywhere with her.
Getting the cold shoulder.
Oh God, we're sadistic. Okay, so back to our this Benedict Cumberbatch. You're right. He's been on Sherlock, The Whistleblower, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. So this guy's been in War Horse. He's this Benedict Cumberbatch. He's been in it. But yeah, he's got that. Especially, I know in Star Trek, of course, he was playing the bad guy, but he can do that kind of evil, like sophisticated evil voice. Anyway, so I think that's who could narrate Unsolved Mysteries right now.
I don't know, when you said sophisticated evil voice, I just thought of Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. It's immediately just
he's very sophisticated. Very sophisticated, Ashtyn. When I think of evil genius, I think of Dr. Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was Gargamel not in your top 5?
I'm a little bit too old for that.
Oh, okay. You do know that Smurfs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Because
that was too good of a deep dive for you to miss the Smurfs. But yeah, Gargamel, dude. Gargamel, it wasn't dude. Yeah, it was a dude. He was a bad guy.
You're probably talking about like the movie, right?
Well, he was a regular.
Yeah, that's what I'm familiar with. Is the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're talking about the cartoon from like 1985.
Oh yeah.
I watched a couple of reruns, but
the Smurf.
Hey, Brent, did you ever have Smurf cereal growing up?
I don't think so. No.
Man,
I had all bran and grape nuts.
You didn't have any of the cool ones? You didn't have Ninja Turtle cereal?
No, the coolest thing I had Cocoa Pebbles a lot. Lots of Cocoa Pebbles.
Those are okay.
I dig those pretty good. They were pretty good stuff. And I'm riding that. Cocoa Pebbles. I didn't discover Lucky Charms until college. Man, those freeze-dried marshmallows, you let them sit for a minute. Oh,
you still talking about cereal?
Yes, I'm talking about cereal. I wasn't talking about my formal date, my spring formal date. So, Ashtyn, have you been to any AGR formals now that we mention it?
No, I haven't.
Any AGR parties, probably, I'm sure.
No, actually not really, but they tailgate right by the Animal Science building. So freshman year, I did go to some AGR tailgates.
Very nice. Yeah, they're the best. They're the ones that literally tailgate. That's just all they have is a tailgate. Like not on the pickup, they just bring it out on a table. Like here's
not
our
even on the
tailgate.
table. They just like have the wire and everything, and it's just sitting on the floor.
Mm-hmm, pretty much. That's right. And it's so hot outside, we just throw some eggs on the asphalt and it goes to cooking. So that's how AGRs get down. So okay, so we're back to the story here. So we've got Unsolved Mysteries. We've got, of course, I mean, I'm as guilty as Landon. We watched The Office. Looks like I started Hannibal, the new series of Hannibal. Has anybody watched that?
No.
Have not.
Okay.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I started it. Talk about the logistics of Netflix. How many shows have you started, got into like 15 minutes, and like several? Because I'm several on that.
Pretty much all the new David Spade movies.
So I started the Jeffrey Epstein one. No, I didn't even make it to episode 2. Just about 3/4 of the way through episode 1. Waco. Huh?
You got to the point where he rolled over on the first massage, and that was enough.
Yeah, pretty much, just like old Bob Kraft. So, and my kids are watching The Floor Is Lava. I haven't watched any of it. It looks like a game show, but they watch the hell out of it. It must be pretty entertaining. Let's see. I've watched some F is for Family. I keep trying to watch it, and I just can't. Oh, the original Twilight Zone is on there. That's actually underrated. Have you ever seen any nostalgic the Twilight Zones, Ashtyn?
I have not, no.
Landon, did you ever watch it?
Oh, yeah. We used to watch that when we were kids.
But that was like in the 60s, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, obviously those were all reruns, yeah. So, let's see. And there's a lot of stand-up comedy. I think the funny... you watched some stand-up specials, haven't you, Landon, on it?
I watched that new Dave Chappelle that he did a few months ago.
Yeah, I hadn't watched it.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty rough.
Oh, because he just made one about after the George Floyd deal, not that one.
Oh, no, not that.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it was pretty good. I thought that. I forgot what he called it, but it was pretty funny. I tell you one that was funny was that Aziz Ansari. He's on Parks and Rec. Oh, that guy's funny. He is so funny. I
Do you watch Bert Kirchner? I think that's his name.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Funny. You should watch. He has 3, I think, on Netflix, and his one that's titled The Machine.
Okay.
That one's pretty.
Here's one called The Staircase. It looked like it was Al Pacino for a second. Boy, this looks
I know what you're talking about.
It looks like it's got Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, maybe? Let's see.
It's about a pretty, I think, famous murder, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's true crime. Yeah.
I've heard about it, and I heard that it's pretty good.
Accident or Murder. After the mysterious death of his wife, author Michael Peterson watches his life go under the microscope. The Staircase. But yeah, this does look interesting. So no,
it is a story, I think.
Huh?
I think it's a true story.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's definitely a true story. It's a documentary. Yeah, it's a documentary. So the guy, I was a little off on the Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, but the guy really looked like him. So, okay, I'm going to have to put that in the queue. I'm going to have to save that one to my list there. So, okay, Landon.
This guy playing, I said it's a guy playing Al Pacino, playing this guy.
Playing this guy, yeah. That old chestnut, yeah. So, got my Star Trek on there. I haven't really got back into that. Let me go back up to the top because do y'all go, like when you're searching, do y'all go just like deeper and hell into the Netflix catalog of different shows? Like you get, you're getting like you're getting out of choices when there's stuff you've absolutely never heard of, and it went direct to video. Have you ever watched any of those?
Once you're scrolling and it like comes back to the first stuff you've already seen, you're like, all right, I need to pick something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'll spend 20, 30 minutes looking for something, and then I just watch The Office.
Why doesn't Netflix have a genre just titled stuff that nobody watches?
Yeah. With no ratings. Yeah. 0 stars and everything like that. I was trying to
Less
think.
than 10 views.
I watched New Girl. That was of course that was on TV, and we watched it on this. This is a funny show.
You told me it was pretty good. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I think Ashtyn would. I mean, it's got Zooey Deschanel, and I mean it's kind of like a it's kind of like How I Met Your Mother except funny. I watched that show for like 5 seasons. Did you ever watch that?
It's really
Ashtyn?
easy to watch. Oh yeah, not How I Met Your Mother, but New Girl. I've watched it through like twice.
Yeah. It's a good show. But it's actually funny, and it's got some likable characters. And that How I Met Your Mother, it stopped being, there wasn't anybody that we could like. And like that was the same way with The Big Bang Theory. We watched it for like 7 seasons, and we just finally could like, all right, don't like anybody anymore. They're all unlikable characters. So, there we go. There's the microphone finally, Brent. Looks like George Lopez has got one coming out, or got one now. We're gonna have to look at that one. That one looks pretty interesting as a stand-up special. Let's see here. Huh?
Have you ever watched Schitt's Creek?
He found his pajamas.
No, is it any good?
Cool. They were in the dryer the whole time. Okay, I'm sorry, Ashtyn.
No, I was just talking about Schitt's Creek, and it's freaking hilarious.
Okay, I've heard it. I've never said. Tell us about it.
It's so good, and it has Eugene Levy,
Oh yeah.
guy with the eyebrows, and his son. They created it together, and it's a Canadian show, so it was on Pop TV in Canada, and so it's on Netflix now, and it's so funny. It's about this super rich family, and I guess their tax lawyer or someone that like does their taxes like committed a bunch of tax fraud on them, and so they get everything taken away from them, but the one asset they're allowed to keep is this town called Schitt's Creek. So the dad had bought this town as a joke, and so they have to like move to Schitt's Creek, and it's like a little itty bitty podunk town, and it's just so funny, and it's like really good character development, and like it's a really good storyline, but you don't lose like the laughs anywhere. It's really funny.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, is the name of the family Schitt's Creek? That's what I was. But so they buy Schitt's Creek. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been up Schitt's Creek many times, and it always runs downhill, Ashtyn. So I started.
Where are you going to buy a town?
Do what?
When are you going to buy a town?
When am I going to buy it? Who says I hadn't already?
You can buy Milo Center.
Okay. Well, yeah, we pretty much surround it as it is, so it's just consider we're considered squatters. So we're just going to take it by not eminent domain, but adverse possession. So I just started Dark a couple nights ago. I just watched the first episode. It looks pretty interesting. Of course, I fell asleep after about 30 minutes, but which is actually pretty impressive if I do say so myself, because usually it's about 5 to 10 minutes. I know a lot of my friends have rewatched Breaking Bad. It's on here several. I know they've watched it at least 2 or 3 times. Were you ever a Breaking Bad fan, Ashtyn, as you text your boyfriend?
I'm actually texting my roommate, but
oh, okay. Is she looking for her pajamas too? Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've watched a good bit of Breaking Bad. I didn't make it past the first season, but I remember I started watching it in high school when I was like, I don't know, probably like 14 or 15, and like one of the first scenes, if you've ever seen Breaking Bad, it's pretty raunchy, and so I like immediately turned it off. I was so terrified of my parents like walking in and watching it. So I've been a little bit skittish about it, but I have watched a couple of episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of the best. It's one of the best TV series ever made. Ozark is really it's kind of an homage to Breaking Bad from what I've kind of decided. So they got the drugs and the backstabbing and the mafia and all that good stuff. And the last episode,
people getting thrown off buildings, all that good stuff.
Has anybody been thrown off a building? I know people have been blown up and shot up.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. So
have you ever watched Better Call Saul?
I watched about a season of it, and I quit watching it. And my brother, he's a big fan of it, and he said it gets a lot better after about the 3rd season.
I haven't watched it, but I heard it's like a spin-off kind of thing of Breaking Bad.
Yeah. This is the timeline. It's before Walter White becomes Walter White. Yeah, this is all the character development of Saul Goodman and Better Call Saul. So I guess
Brent, he was like the second choice to play Michael Scott.
Yeah, well, he was in like the next to last episode, and he played basically his counterpart somewhere else. I forgot what kind of company it was, but
is that company that where Pam goes and interviews or whatever?
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. So I forget what his actor's name is, but he's Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk. God, I can't believe I pulled that one out. So okay, back to I watched a Roman Empire. That was a good Netflix series. It was, it's kind of one of those fictional documentary. I mean, I guess it's mostly based on fact, but it's an acted out one. And they've got, the interview. They interview, little 30-second snippets from like historians or scientists or whatever from the Roman. It's a really good one, a documentary that's got actors and stuff in it.
Hey Brent, when do you work?
That's while I'm working. What do you think auto steer is for?
Yeah, gotcha.
When do you work?
Well, we have the internet access at work, so
Yeah. Well, I've got an unlimited data plan, so I'm looking at here. Here's one that says "Say I Do" surprise weddings. Okay, so I wanted to make this a whole episode, but do you think anybody talking about weddings to change the subject here? Do you think any guy has proposed to a girl not knowing she was going to say yes? Like he didn't know whether she was going to say yes or no.
According to that one country song by that portly fellow, it happens. What's that? The long cold beer never let me down.
Yeah, cold beer never broke my heart. No, that's not an engagement song though, or that's not that.
But at the gym they play the video every 5 seconds.
Oh.
So
Now
that's one of the parts that some guy proposes to a chick and she runs off.
Now the George Strait song, I know she still loves. No. You can't make a heart love somebody. Yeah. But that's not real. So Ashtyn, do you think guys get the female perspective here from you? Do you think guys are any of them are asking, not knowing they're going to say yes, or they're nervous about it?
No, I cannot in my head envision a man asking somebody to marry him knowing that she might say no.
Yeah, I can't see it. But they're out there.
I can't either.
I mean, after huh?
They are.
Oh, they're out there. There's a dude that was doing stuff to dead people at the coroner's office. Of course, they're out there.
In the Hub City. Yeah.
Hub City. It's a sad world out there. No, I mean, I not to sound obnoxious, even though that's what we're here for.
What would you do after that if you proposed and got rejected?
Because you're on your knee. You're on your knee. Where are you going to go from there, Ashtyn? I mean, it's awkward enough saying no to a guy on his knee. What about the dude looking up, getting the no?
Honestly, if that happened to me, I might just fall over and pretend I was having a stroke.
You would probably go into your fake character bit.
Yeah, probably.
Your Russian fake character bit.
My couple of other personalities would come out and just tell her it was a joke.
He's like, I'm crazy, right?
If you don't know the answer to that question, you want to ask on April 1st because that's the only way you can pay it off.
So,
will you marry me? No. April Fools.
So one of my buddies, and I don't know if he came up with this or not, but I thought it was just classic. So back when we were at college, he said, "Yeah, if I ever ask a girl to dance and she said no." At the bar, of course it's loud, music's playing. He goes, it's like, what do you mean no? I said you look fat in that dress. I want to write a song called that. That would be, I'm going to have to write that down. I'm going to have to just quit what I'm doing, quit working, turn the sprinklers off, and start writing parody songs and see if that pays the bills.
Get your guitar, Brent.
I've got it. I already wrote a song for what's his name? Tommy Tinseth. I hadn't heard from him in a while. So yeah, Ashtyn, Landon, I just don't. I mean, if you're going, I guess it takes balls to get down on a knee, not knowing what's going to happen after you get back up. I mean, that takes some stones. They clang when they walk, man. That's all I can say.
I guess.
Yeah, because Ashtyn, you couldn't respect a guy, could you?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, this guy's asking me. He doesn't know whether I'm going to say yes or not. Because, okay, so Landon and I, we've done the whole thing. We've gotten married and everything. Landon, you knew it was a lock, didn't you? And you probably, well, first of all, you talked about it before you even bought the ring, right?
Yeah, we had some talks.
Yeah. So Ashtyn, you're gonna have whenever you get your boy, when you get your fiance and everything, y'all are gonna talk about it. Talk about marriage and this and that, and before he asks the question,
meet with a mediator. I mean, cover all your bases.
Blood types, all that, blood test, all that good stuff. Family trees.
Make sure you know the person's actual name. That she's not like a Russian personality.
Background checks, all that good stuff. Social security numbers, everything.
Yeah.
Most importantly, possible inheritance.
Yeah, that might be a good one.
Yeah. Which it ought to, unless you date a guy that's got like parents that are like multimillionaires, but they live in like a 1,000 square foot house and don't show it. So otherwise, you're gonna kind of know what the parents have. Either that or they get a lot of debt, like a farmer. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of the guys out here in Lubbock is just farm kids with no money. So I'm gonna have to try and look for a time in the rough.
And you were in Dallas. You had like the biggest pool in the entire state of Texas, and you go to Lubbock then.
No.
Marriage talk is what I did not have planned for this episode, but that's how we roll here. So, guys, what are y'all getting ready to watch? What's on your queue?
I'm gonna go watch Unsolved Mysteries.
That's what I think. I think I'm gonna do.
I think I'm gonna go with Athlete A.
I was just running past that. What have you noticed? Or what have you read about it? Anything?
Well, some of my friends have recommended it to me, and I hear that it's pretty good. So it's about all of the Olympic gymnasts, and there was a doctor, like one of their physical therapy doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about this
Larry
story
Nassar.
before.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the Larry Nassar story. So
I just can't watch those molestation documentaries. I don't know. I just can't watch them. I've watched a couple and I don't know. I'd rather watch murders.
I know, it just blows my mind. My mind.
But you haven't started it yet.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay. So you're gonna have to give
Willy
us.
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory's on here.
Do what?
I'm gonna watch that. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory's on here.
Because I haven't watched that
old
1,000 times.
The old one, yeah.
The old one.
Oh, the new one. God almighty. I watched 10 minutes of that and I want to take a shower.
That's dumb.
Oh, it looks awful. Ashtyn, you liked it?
It came out when I was real little, but I mean, I think both of them are creepy, to be honest.
Landon, the new one came out when she was little. Of course, I mean, we weren't even alive when the old one came out, but.
True. And E.T.'s on here, too. I'm going to start watching some old movies.
I do not like E.T. I do not like E.T.
Dude, Brent, when I was little, we had an E.T. alarm clock. And so when it would go off, his head would raise up, and his finger would light up, and he would just sit there and scream that. So one night at like 4 a.m, and I'm like 5 or 6, this thing goes off, and we're freaking terrified. We don't know how to shut it off. It's just E.T. like sitting there with his finger glowing and his head raised a foot in the air.
When I saw E.T. get washed up in that river under that bridge, and he was like all faded out and everything, I couldn't sleep for weeks because he was nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty looking Ashtyn. Did you ever watch it?
Yeah, he's not my favorite. I haven't. Oh my God, in years.
Oh, but you have.
But he was so creepy to me. His little light up finger. It just AI back then was just like not the same that it is today.
Oh, you mean CGI?
If you watch it, you never see an adult's face until the very end.
Oh yeah, Drew Barrymore. You knew what she was going to turn out to be. So, yeah.
Hey Brent, who did the voice for E.T.? If you can get this.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Deborah Winger.
No, but Benedict Cumberbatch was actually the face of E.T. You got it wrong. You got it mixed up.
No. E.T.'s got a wide face. Benedict Cumberbatch has got a long, skinny face.
Yeah, it was that lady from Urban Cowboy, Brent. Is it Deborah Winger?
Deborah Winger? Yeah, I've heard the name. From. I never watched Urban Cowboy.
You've never watched Urban Cowboy? I've watched Urban Cowboy.
No, I know. I need to. I've probably seen parts of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing in its entirety. So yeah, I know it's a classic.
Brent is an Urban Cowboy.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, yo.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we're gonna have to get some reports. So y'all get to watching those episodes, and I'll do the same, and we'll get out of here. Ashtyn, you're just hanging out in Lubbock, huh?
Yeah, just hanging out. Just been working from home, doing whatever to kind of entertain myself for the time being.
Sounds great. Landon's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
He's got his
getting ready for round 2 of social distancing, I guess.
Yeah, I tell you what. So I put on Twitter the other day, we were at the Plainview show, and, of course, stock show. You wouldn't know there's any kind of only reason you know there's a COVID is because they're kind of required to repeat over the intercom, the PA, that everybody needs to, be sure social distance, sit here and there, and don't, do this, that. But I put on Twitter's like, if you think young people don't give a damn about social distancing, try 2 ladies in their 60s who haven't seen each other in a couple years, because they will hug the shit out of each other. They will hurt each other hugging each other. They could give a damn about social distancing, because I saw that at the show. Yeah.
Yeah, when they
I've
say
got a
hug,
little-
that's literally what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I've got a social distancing funny story. So my friend, he's in Louisiana right now. He's at the Charlotte Junior Nationals, and they have a graphic kind of set up all around, I guess. And it says social distancing Louisiana style. So it says you have to stay 6+ feet apart, and it compares it to one young alligator, 6 gumbo pots, 10 ears of corn, or 15 live crawfish.
Can you say
So that's
stereotype?
I guess so. I thought it was pretty funny, though.
Yeah. Wow. That's one way. Yeah, they made a T-shirt for Plainview, I think it was.
Hey, Brent, I gotta run, man.
All right, dude. Well, that's cool. We're done with you anyway. So go have your fashion show with your mannequins, and we'll be seeing you next week.
All right.
Whoa, he just hung up like that.
He didn't even care.
So anyway, they made a T-shirt at the Plainview show that said "Still showing 6 feet apart," and basically they'd always use the length of their steer or heifer as a good measurement. So yeah, so we've got we're supposed to have a big jackpot show in Abilene at the end of the month, and I don't know. I would have thought they might be canceling it, but I don't know. I guess it may still be going on. So hopefully it does. It's supposed to be a pretty big shindig. So I'm sure it'll be 1,000 degrees and everybody will be in a great mood, but at least there'll be beer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they had all the junior national shows that they did, because one of my friends, she's my other roommate, she just did Shorthorn Junior Nationals in Abilene, and she was there for a while. And I guess when they were sending in tags and stuff like that to
Right.
register, they had to say how long they were staying, where they were staying, how many people would be in their party, their group, or whatever. And I think they give them wristbands and crap like that. But she said that it was a pretty good arena. I'm guessing that this jackpot will be in the same place, but they had distance people in the stalls and stuff like that. But I don't know, man.
So they moved the Angus Nationals were supposed to be in Pennsylvania, and that's coming up in the next week or two, I think. But so about, I guess, a month into the pandemic scare, they moved it to Tulsa, and so as far as I know, they're still having it. And I guess because Pennsylvania was extremely strict on all their lockdowns and shutdowns and everything, so they moved it to Tulsa. So we weren't going to go. We weren't going to go to Pennsylvania, but we're not going to go to Tulsa either. So yeah, they're still having it as far as I know. But you talk about somewhere that's hot. That's Tulsa, Oklahoma in July. So yeah,
I saw the other day that we were on at least in the Texas Panhandle, a red flag advisory for wildfires and everything. Have you seen anything crazy?
That's old hat, Ashtyn. Yeah. You haven't been in the Panhandle very long if you haven't seen that. So when we went to Levelland, so you go from when you get to Littlefield and you go to Levelland, it's about a 27-mile stretch. And so they got a big rain, I guess, here a couple weeks ago, and it was nothing but sand dunes. I mean, literal sand. I mean, they got this big rain, and all it did was blow out all their cotton the next day when that top level of that sand dried out, and it looked like Saudi Arabia with a few. I mean, because they got oil pumps there, and it just looked awful. And so yeah, we had, yesterday was pretty gloomy. Yesterday I talked to. It's kind of starting to get to some people. He's like, I talked to more than one person. They're like, man, this is getting old. Like, yeah, no kidding, And it's just kind of weird. I heard it from 2 different people on the same day, and it's just, one of a farmer friend's, a neighbor, and it's like, yeah, I know, because it was 100 degrees and it was blowing 25 miles an hour, and it's just relentless. So fortunately, I mean, it's going to be a little cooler the rest of the week. So you popping any firecrackers?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home tomorrow, back to the Dallas area. We're gonna go to the lake for the weekend. Hopefully, we won't get arrested for being on the lake. We don't really know yet.
So which lake do you go? Possum Kingdom?
No, we're gonna go to Lake Texoma because we're
Okay.
real close to the Oklahoma border. So we're gonna go to Lake Texoma, see if we, I don't know, get in trouble there. We don't really know.
Restrictions?
Not as far as we know. My mom, she works for the county back home, and she hasn't heard anything about them closing down the lake or anything.
Okay.
But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go do that, and then one of my sister's birthdays is the next week, so I'm just gonna go home for about a week and a half, I guess.
Oh, okay. Wow. So that'll be good. Well, my brother, one of my brothers has a big, they have a big 4th of July party every year, and they always send out a mass text to people, and about 2 days later she decided, well, I guess we won't have it. So they're only like 2 miles away. So I don't know, we might still go over there anyway. But yeah, so right now, I don't know. I haven't even heard if Hereford's going to have fireworks this year or not due to the drought. I think Amarillo might, so we might go up to Amarillo. They have pretty good fireworks, so we'll go watch that. And hopefully everybody will watch this episode. If I was recording the video, I guess you could. But listen to this episode of the Dryline Farmer Podcast. Ashtyn, tell everybody where you can find this great podcast at.
You can find this podcast at Global Ag Network, and I guess yours is / the Dryline Farmer.
I guess so. I think it's just Dryline Farmer, like but that was Delaney's doing. So yeah, you can find it on the Global Ag Network, and you can also find it via my Twitter. That's at Trader Brent, and Landon is at NoTwitLandon44, and Ashtyn Carr is.
I'm just at Ashtyn with a Y _Carr. You know, I will add something just really fast before we head out. I just realized the other day after I had left Hereford, when I first started with Global Ag Network and I was doing like a Q&A on the Ag News Daily or the Global Ag Network Twitter, I was like, ask me questions, whatever. And you commented and you said, is that how you spell Ashtyn?
Yeah.
And I told my friends, I was like, look at this guy. Like, that's so weird. Like, why is he commenting this? Because your Twitter profile is like you with like all of your hair everywhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's kind of, I don't know how to feel about
creepy. That's creepy. Well,
like, oh my god,
I didn't want to ask a generic question, and that's all I could think of. So
I thought it was so funny. After I had like talked to you, I was like, oh my god, that was Brent.
Yeah,
and I thought it was funny because I was telling my friends, I was like, I don't know, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, and I'm going up to his house later. I don't know. And he's got a basement. Ugh. So yeah, but no, I had to ask something that was not too generic. So yeah. Well, yeah, it was fun. We'll have to do that again. We'll get you up here and we'll do another in studio episode because it was fun the last time. But so yeah, you can find us there on Twitter, and of course we're all over all the like billion different places you can find podcasts: Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all that good stuff. So Ashtyn, have a good time in North Texas, even though it's really not North Texas we are, but we'll go ahead and call it that. So have fun there, and everybody else, y'all be safe out there. Hopefully it rains here and it stops raining in other places where it's like absolutely flooding, which I can't really relate to. But until next time, guys, y'all stay safe out there, and we'll ask you, what side of the line are you on? The Dryline Farmer Podcast brought to you by us, because we made it. The Dryline Farmer Podcast. All rights reserved, 2020, and a member of the Global Ag Network.